Hey guys, it's Tamman doing what I love, and today I'll be doing my YouTube content creator for the month of July, so let's get into it. For the year 2020, twice a month I'll be doing two types of shoutouts. One will be about a YouTube friend who's helped me guide my path in my journey, and the other one will be a YouTube content creator who I looked up to. And today I'll be talking about Zach Shomler, the host of the sports podcast Strong Opinion Sports. Now, Zach is one of my favorite YouTubers on this site. I love his content. And before we get into the content, I want to talk about Zach the person, Zach Shomler the host, because from what I've seen and what he posts on social media and the small conversations we had, Zach is just a really fantastic guy. One thing I really love about him is that he just really enjoys life. He loves to post on social media and the Instagram stories, and you can just tell that he's having a blast in life. Yes, he does work on his podcast and stuff, but he takes time to enjoy life, and I think that's great. I think a lot of people are kind of consumed by, always working, always doing that. But Zach takes time to enjoy life. I remember a couple months ago, he went on a trip to Cincinnati, Ohio, and loved it. And he wants to go there. I'm like, that's amazing, that he, has a destination, a plan, and a dream, and he just loves life and nature. And I think that's an amazing trait. Also, he's just a very positive guy. Kind of building off of that, you can tell his enjoyment of life translates really well. He is someone who just seems like a really friendly dude, and the conversations we've had have been great. He's always positive, he's always uplifting, and, even when he posts stuff that might not be going his way, he always thinks about, how am I going to solve this? What's the best possible outcome? And things like that. For my YouTube friend shout out, I did that this month. I mentioned that my friend Andrew does that, and I think Zach does a very similar thing to solving problems. And another thing about Zach is that he's turned a tragedy into his life, and he's tried to help other people. Unfortunately, Zach's brother passed away a couple years ago due to suicide, and I cannot relate to that. That has never happened to me, but I can just imagine how hard it is for him. And what I think is something good that he's done is that he, in his video, says, hey, if you are someone who's struggling with mental health or whatever it may be, he always puts a link in the description or a number to call. He always provides resources. And I think that's really great that he does that to, if people need it. And I love how he takes time in his podcast to do it. I just think that's a really amazing thing that he does. And I think that's just a great example of showing the just really fantastic person Zach is. I watched him for several years, and seeing his journey as he's grown on his podcast, how his studio has changed, has just really been fantastic. And it's really cool to see as a viewer the change that he's done. But talking about his podcast, man, it is fantastic stuff. First of all, he does NFL content. I'm a huge football fan, and he has really great stuff. I think my favorite stuff that he does related to the NFL is his quarterback film analysis, because Zach did play quarterback for a while, and he has really great in-depth knowledge of the position, the techniques, and footwork, and where to place the ball and how to throw. It's just really good stuff. And I think my favorite of his film analysis is the Kyler Murray, the Sam Darnold, and the Tom Brady. Those were really great videos. And if you after this video, if you want to check out Zach Shomler, definitely look up those three videos. I think those are probably some of his best on the platform. I just love his take on NFL sports, and what I love how he does in the podcast is he kind of talks to his viewers like a friend. I think sometimes podcast hosts elevate themselves to this super high level, and they almost talk down. Zach Shomler doesn't do that. He's just a very friendly guy. Whenever he has hosts on, he just had Brett Coleman on as a special guest. That was really awesome. He's just a great host. And what I love about his show strong opinion in sports is it's got me interested in some other sports. You know, I love football, but he's talking about basketball, now Formula One racing, you know, baseball, and it's gotten me a bit more interested in those sports. And I'm someone who's not really that big of an MLB fan. I find it very boring, but his videos made me interested in it. And that's just kind of the power of his content. And kind of going into how he influenced me, Zach Shomler has just influenced me. He was one of the many factors that helped me kind of get the idea to start the Man-to-Man coverage podcast with my good friend Ben. Ben is also a big fan of Zach Shomler, so we kind of talked about it. So he was definitely an influence for us to start that podcast. But just to kind of just keep enjoying life. I think that's the #1 thing I take about Zach Shomler. He loves to work, but you know, he loves what he does, but he also loves life. And I think having a mixture of that is just really important. And Zach, man, if you're by any chance watching this, first of all, I want to say a big thank you. Thank you for all that you've done for the entertainment and just the amazing content you put out. And keep growing and keep doing what you're doing, because what you're doing is pretty awesome. Well, guys, that will do it for this video. If you're interested in checking out Zach Shomler or, you know, his podcast, Strong Opinion Sports, I'll leave a link in the description below. Trust me, it is pretty amazing stuff. And anyways, guys, this has been Entertainment Doing All Love. I'll see y'all next time. Take care and bye-bye.